Small wins, big results. How tiny habits create massive success. Introduction. Success isn't born from grand gestures or dramatic leaps. It's whispered into existence through the smallest, most unassuming actions. Think about the way a single drop of water can carve canyons over time, or how a single matchstick can ignite a wildfire. In life, we're often captivated by the idea of instant, monumental change. Yet, behind every extraordinary achievement lies a mosaic of tiny, consistent actions that go unnoticed. Small wins that quietly compound until they create something monumental. The truth is, we don't fail because our dreams are too big. We fail because the path we choose to achieve them is unsustainable. We set ambitious goals, jump in head first, and then falter under the weight of unrealistic expectations. It's not that we lack willpower or discipline, it's that we're chasing the wrong strategy. Big, sweeping changes are seductive, but fleeting. The real magic lies in the unnoticed, the mundane, the small. Imagine building a bridge across a vast chasm, not by trying to leap across it in one go, but by laying down a single plank each day. Every plank seems insignificant in isolation, but together, they create a pathway strong enough to carry you to the other side. This is the power of small habits. When chosen wisely and executed consistently, they can transform your life in ways you never imagined. Here's the beauty of this approach. It works for everyone. Whether you're trying to advance your career, strengthen relationships, improve your health, or simply find more joy in your daily life, small habits hold the key. They bypass the overwhelm of big ambitions and instead make success feel manageable, accessible, and within reach. But this isn't just about creating habits. It's about creating a system. It's about harnessing the compounding effect of small wins to generate unstoppable momentum. Once you unlock this principle, you'll realize that the distance between where you are and where you want to be is shorter than it seems. This journey won't require you to overhaul your life overnight. It won't ask for perfection or endless motivation. Instead, it invites you to embrace the power of small actions, to trust in the process, and to let go of the myth that progress must be immediate to be meaningful. Welcome to a new way of thinking, a way that proves success isn't built in a day, but cultivated through 1,000 tiny victories. It all begins here, with the smallest step forward. Chapter 1. The Seed of Change. Small actions, like seeds planted in fertile soil, carry the potential for profound transformation. The beauty of these actions is that they are often so subtle, so seemingly insignificant, that they go unnoticed by others. Yet over time, they begin to gather energy, building momentum that becomes impossible to ignore. This is how change takes root, not through sweeping revolutions, but through the quiet, consistent effort of tiny steps taken each day. Momentum is not an accident. It is cultivated, piece by piece, through small choices that align with a greater vision. Picture a boulder sitting at the edge of a hill. At first, it seems immovable, too heavy to shift. But a nudge, just the right amount of force applied at the right moment, can set it in motion. Once it begins to roll, it picks up speed, fueled by its own weight and the incline beneath it. The initial push is small, but the result is unstoppable. In our own lives, small actions work much the same way. They create ripples in the water of our routines, gently disrupting old patterns and introducing new possibilities. The challenge lies in recognizing where to begin. Opportunities for these tiny wins often hide in plain sight, camouflaged by the busyness of daily life. They're the moments we overlook because they don't feel significant enough to matter. Waking up 5 minutes earlier, taking a single deep breath before responding to a stressful situation, or writing down one idea that comes to mind. It's easy to underestimate these actions because their impact isn't immediate. but their value lies in their consistency, their ability to compound over time. Each small win strengthens the foundation for the next, creating a chain reaction of progress. When you embrace this perspective, the pressure to achieve dramatic results disappears. Instead, you begin to see change as a series of manageable, incremental steps. Steps that are within your reach, no matter where you're starting from. Recognizing these opportunities requires a shift in perspective. Rather than waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal conditions, it means learning to act within the present. The path to success isn't a straight line. It's a mosaic of choices, and every small action adds a new piece to the picture. By focusing on what you can do right now, no matter how small, you open the door to a future that might have once seemed impossible. This approach is liberating because it allows you to let go of the need for perfection. Small actions aren't about getting everything right. They're about showing up, trying, and adjusting along the way. Each time you choose to act, you reinforce a belief in your ability to change. This belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, fueling the momentum that carries you forward. The seed of change begins with intention. It's about deciding in the quiet moments of your day to take ownership of your actions. It's about planting small seeds, nurturing them, and trusting that given time, they will grow into something extraordinary. Each choice you make is a vote for the person you want to become, and every small win brings you closer to that vision. Chapter 2. Building Daily Patterns. Every great achievement begins with a foundation of daily actions. These actions, small and deliberate, are the building blocks of consistency. Success is not the product of sporadic bursts of effort, but of steady, reliable progress over time. It is in the quiet rhythm of our daily lives that the seeds of greatness take root. The power of consistency lies in its ability to compound efforts, transforming them from isolated attempts into enduring habits that lead to meaningful change. Consistency is not glamorous. It often lacks the excitement of new beginnings or the drama of grand gestures. Yet, it is precisely its unassuming nature that makes it so powerful. When a daily pattern is established, it removes the need for constant decision-making, freeing mental energy for more significant tasks. It's the simple repetition of meaningful actions that carves a path toward mastery, even when the results are not immediately visible. Crafting routines that stick is both an art and a strategy. The key lies in designing patterns that align with your life, your values, and your goals. These patterns should feel natural, not forced, a seamless part of your daily flow rather than an interruption. A routine that is too ambitious or rigid is destined to collapse under the weight of its own demands. The most effective routines are those that adapt to your circumstances while maintaining their core purpose. Start small. The mistake many make is aiming too high, too soon, expecting dramatic changes overnight. True transformation begins with manageable steps. A 5-minute action performed consistently carries more power than a sporadic hour of effort. These small actions, repeated daily, reinforce a sense of discipline and create momentum. Over time, they expand, becoming a natural part of your identity. It's important to acknowledge that consistency is not about perfection. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. What matters is returning to the routine, even after disruptions. The act of recommitting strengthens resolve and fortifies the habit. The ability to pick up where you left off without dwelling on missed days is a skill that keeps progress alive. A well-designed routine is also anchored in triggers, natural cues in your environment that prompt action. These cues can be as simple as brewing your morning coffee or finishing a meal. By linking your desired action to an existing habit or event, you reduce the friction of starting. Over time, these triggers create a seamless flow where the action becomes automatic. Equally important is the role of reflection in maintaining consistency. A routine should evolve with you, adapting to new goals, challenges, and circumstances. Regularly evaluate your patterns to ensure they serve your purpose and remain aligned with your aspirations. Adjustments are not a sign of failure, but a testament to growth. Building daily patterns is a quiet discipline that yields extraordinary results. It is not about overloading your schedule, but about focusing on the few actions that matter most. Each small, consistent effort contributes to a greater whole, weaving a tapestry of progress that defines your life. This is the enduring power of daily patterns, a force so simple, yet so transformative, that it reshapes not just what you do, but who you become. Chapter 3. The Ripple Effect. In the vast ocean of life, a single ripple can transform the surface. Small habits, seemingly inconsequential in isolation, carry the potential to influence every aspect of our goals. The power of these habits lies not in their size, but in their ability to create a cascading effect, shifting the course of larger aspirations. Just as a pebble dropped into a still pond creates waves that extend far beyond its initial impact, minor adjustments can set in motion profound changes that ripple outward into all areas of life. Minor adjustments are deceptively powerful because they work quietly, often bypassing the resistance that accompanies larger, more daunting changes. These small shifts allow us to bridge the gap between where we are and where we aspire to be without overwhelming our resources or willpower. When a habit is intentionally linked to a greater purpose, it becomes more than just an action. It becomes a step forward on a much larger journey. The key lies in identifying how these small habits align with broader aspirations. For example, the decision to drink a glass of water each morning may appear trivial, but when tied to the goal of improving health and energy, it becomes an essential part of a larger narrative. Each glass of water reinforces the commitment to vitality, serving as a tangible reminder of the bigger picture. The act, while small, is purposeful, and its ripple effect extends far beyond hydration. Every small habit carries within it the potential to affect not just one goal, but many. Consider how consistently practicing gratitude influences emotional resilience, relationships, and even professional success. A simple daily habit, like writing down 3 things you're grateful for, radiates outward, altering perceptions and fostering a mindset that supports growth across multiple dimensions of life. To harness the ripple effect, it is essential to remain mindful of the connections between your habits and your goals. Visualize how each action, no matter how minor, serves as a link in the chain leading to something greater. This awareness transforms habits from mindless routines into intentional practices, imbuing them with meaning and purpose. The ripple effect also works to amplify the outcomes of effort. Once small habits take root, they often create a momentum that carries into other areas of life. A single change, like waking up earlier to exercise, might lead to improved energy, better focus, and enhanced productivity throughout the day. These secondary effects can compound, creating a cycle of positive reinforcement that encourages continued growth. Yet, not all ripples are constructive. It is equally important to recognize the influence of negative habits, as they too can spread beyond their immediate impact. Small, unproductive behaviors can erode progress, creating unintended obstacles on the path to success. Identifying and replacing these habits with intentional actions ensures that your ripples move in the direction of your aspirations. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. Instead of overwhelming yourself with monumental goals, focus on the seemingly insignificant actions that, when repeated, carry you closer to those goals. These habits are not just tools for change. They are the seeds of transformation, capable of growing into something far greater than their initial form. Small habits, thoughtfully chosen and consistently practiced, are the unseen forces that shape our lives. Each ripple, though small, adds to the momentum, pushing us toward a future that reflects our deepest aspirations. It begins with a single act, deliberate and intentional, setting the course for waves of change that stretch far beyond the moment. Chapter 4. Shaping the Environment. The spaces we inhabit silently guide our actions, shaping our choices, and influencing our habits in ways we often overlook. Just as a gardener cultivates the soil to nurture growth, crafting an environment that supports positive behavior is an essential step in the pursuit of meaningful change. When surroundings align with intentions, they become allies in the journey, nudging us toward productive actions without the need for constant willpower. Our environments are not passive backdrops. They are dynamic forces that communicate with our subconscious minds. A cluttered desk might whisper of distraction, while an organized workspace signals focus and clarity. A kitchen stocked with fresh, healthy options invites mindful eating, while one filled with processed snacks does the opposite. Every object and arrangement in our surroundings sends a message, subtly shaping what feels easy, appealing, or inevitable. Designing spaces that encourage positive behavior requires a thoughtful approach, one that begins with identifying what truly matters. Clarity about your goals allows you to intentionally remove the obstacles that hinder progress and introduce elements that support the habits you want to cultivate. This might mean placing a journal on your nightstand to encourage reflection, setting workout gear by the door as a reminder to exercise, or creating a dedicated corner for uninterrupted focus on work or study. Sometimes the most impactful changes are the simplest. Rearranging your environment to make positive actions more accessible and frictionless can dramatically increase the likelihood of success. For instance, placing a water bottle within reach encourages hydration, while keeping your phone out of sight during deep work minimizes distractions. These adjustments, though small, create pathways of least resistance, making the desired behavior the natural choice. Equally important is the process of eliminating barriers that obstruct productive habits. Barriers can take many forms: physical, psychological, or even digital. They might be as straightforward as an uncomfortable chair that discourages sitting down to write, or as subtle as a distracting app that derails focus. By identifying these obstacles and removing or mitigating them, you create an environment that works for you, not against you. Shaping your environment also involves setting boundaries that protect your energy and attention. The physical layout of a space can influence how you interact with it. A room dedicated to relaxation, free from the clutter of work-related items, fosters rest and renewal. Similarly, a workspace that is intentionally free from unrelated distractions becomes a sanctuary for productivity. Clear separations between spaces allow for a deeper connection to the purpose each area serves. But environments are not just physical. They include the people and systems that surround you. Supportive relationships and communities can amplify your efforts, while negative influences can hinder your growth. Choosing whom and what to surround yourself with is as critical as arranging objects in a room. A network of encouragement reinforces the behaviors you seek to cultivate, creating a ripple effect of positivity. The process of shaping the environment is not about perfection, it is about intention. It's about asking, does this space reflect who I want to become, and adjusting accordingly. By aligning your surroundings with your values and goals, you transform your environment into a powerful tool for change, one that supports, inspires, and empowers you at every step of the journey. Chapter 5. The Role of Identity. Change begins not with what you do, but with who you believe yourself to be. At the heart of every habit lies a powerful truth. The actions we take are shaped by the identities we hold. To create lasting transformation, it is essential to focus not only on the behavior, but on the person you are becoming through those actions. Identity is the foundation upon which all meaningful and enduring change is built. When your habits align with the vision you have of yourself, they become more than tasks. They become affirmations of who you are. Every action reinforces a belief, and every belief reinforces an identity. For instance, when you commit to writing daily, you're not just completing a task, you're casting a vote for the identity of being a writer. When you choose to prioritize health, you affirm your identity as someone who values well-being. These small, consistent actions bridge the gap between who you are today and the person you aspire to be. Identity is a lens through which you view the world, and it shapes the choices you make. To shift your habits, you must first shift your perspective of yourself. Rather than setting goals that focus solely on outcomes, consider setting intentions that focus on becoming. Instead of aiming to run a marathon, aim to become a runner. Instead of wanting to save money, aim to become someone who is financially responsible. When your actions stem from a place of identity, they feel natural and self-sustaining, requiring less effort and resistance. However, identity is not fixed. It is fluid, shaped by the stories you tell yourself and the evidence you gather through experience. Every habit you cultivate provides evidence of who you are. The more you act in alignment with your desired identity, the stronger it becomes. Over time, these small, consistent actions create a narrative, a story of capability, commitment, and integrity. This story becomes a self-reinforcing cycle, driving further action and deeper belief. Aligning your habits with your core values is essential to this process. Values serve as the compass that guides your actions, ensuring they remain meaningful and rooted in what matters most to you. When your habits reflect your values, they carry a sense of purpose and authenticity that fuels persistence. If generosity is a core value, the habit of helping others feels deeply satisfying. If creativity is central to who you are, dedicating time to artistic pursuits becomes a joy, not a chore. It is also crucial to let go of identities that no longer serve you. Often, we cling to outdated self-perceptions that hinder growth, whether it's seeing yourself as bad at math or not a morning person. These labels are not fixed truths, but stories you've carried over time. Releasing these limiting beliefs creates space for new identities to emerge, identities that align with your aspirations rather than your past. Becoming the person you aspire to be is not a single moment of transformation. It is an ongoing process of evolution. It is a journey of aligning your actions with your values, of gathering evidence through small wins, and of stepping into a new narrative with intention and courage. Identity is not a destination, but a foundation, a reflection of the person you choose to become with every action you take. Chapter 6. The Snowball Principle. Success rarely begins with grand gestures. It starts small, often unnoticed, often humble. Yet, like a snowball rolling down a hill, these small successes gather mass and momentum as they progress. Each victory, no matter how minor, creates the energy to tackle greater challenges, forging a path to achievements once thought out of reach. The snowball principle is the idea that momentum, fueled by initial small wins, can propel you toward larger and more ambitious goals. The power of small successes lies in their ability to generate belief. When you accomplish something, no matter how modest, it creates a shift in your mindset. You begin to see yourself as capable, as someone who follows through, as someone who can succeed. This belief builds upon itself, creating a foundation of confidence that encourages you to take the next step. Success feeds success. The more you achieve, the more your self-perception evolves, creating a cycle of progress that strengthens with every rotation. Momentum, however, is not just about movement. It's about direction. It's not enough to move forward. You must ensure that your small wins align with the path leading to your larger aspirations. Each step should be intentional, building upon the last and pointing toward a greater vision. This clarity of direction transforms isolated achievements into a cohesive journey, where every action contributes to something larger than itself. The principle also demonstrates the power of compound effort. Just as a snowball grows not only in size but in speed as it rolls, your progress accelerates as small wins accumulate. Early efforts may feel slow and insignificant, but over time, the compounding effect becomes impossible to ignore. The energy created by one success fuels the next, allowing you to tackle increasingly complex challenges with greater ease. What once seemed insurmountable becomes manageable, even inevitable, as momentum carries you forward. The beauty of the snowball principle lies in its ability to overcome inertia. Starting is often the hardest part of any journey. The fear of failure, the weight of expectations, and the pull of old habits can make the first step feel daunting. Small successes break through this resistance, offering proof that progress is possible. With each win, the friction decreases, and forward movement becomes more natural. It's important to celebrate these small victories. Acknowledging progress reinforces the behavior and keeps the momentum alive. Celebration doesn't have to be extravagant. It can be as simple as taking a moment to reflect on what you've accomplished or rewarding yourself in a meaningful way. These moments of recognition serve as fuel, reminding you of how far you've come and motivating you to keep going. Momentum also has a unique way of unlocking hidden potential. As you achieve more, you begin to see possibilities that were previously invisible. The confidence gained from small wins encourages you to think bigger, to dream beyond your initial limitations. You start to approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and capability, rather than fear or doubt. This shift in perspective allows you to tackle goals that once seemed out of reach, further accelerating your progress. While the snowball principle emphasizes forward motion, it's also a reminder that setbacks are part of the process. The path is rarely a straight line, and momentum doesn't mean perfection. What matters is that each small win brings you closer to the person you want to become, reinforcing your ability to persevere and adapt. Even when progress slows, the groundwork you've laid ensures that you can pick up speed again when the conditions are right. In essence, the snowball principle is a testament to the power of beginning. It shows that greatness is not born from a single leap, but from a series of small, consistent steps that build upon one another. Each step gains momentum, creating a force that propels you forward, expanding your vision and capabilities with every success. Chapter 7. Mastering Challenges. Challenges are inevitable on the road to success. They are not signs of failure, but markers of growth, moments that test our resilience and reveal the depth of our commitment. It's not the absence of challenges that defines success, but our ability to handle them with grace, adaptability, and a mindset that views obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities. Learning to master challenges is an essential part of mastering ourselves. When setbacks occur, they often feel like a halt in progress. But the reality is that setbacks are temporary, not the end of the road. What truly matters is how you respond. In moments of difficulty, it is easy to feel disheartened or defeated, but these feelings do not define you. Your response to a challenge is what shapes your future, not the challenge itself. The key is to step back, pause, and see the setback from a different perspective, one that opens up new possibilities. Every obstacle contains valuable lessons. Rather than focusing on the frustration or disappointment that often comes with setbacks, look for what can be learned from the experience. What is this challenge teaching you about your approach, your mindset, or your skills? Each obstacle is an invitation to reassess, refine, and strengthen your strategies. The process of navigating difficulty often builds the very qualities needed to sustain long-term success: patience, perseverance, and resourcefulness. The true power in setbacks lies in the ability to reframe them. A failure is not a final verdict, it's an experiment, a test run that provides crucial feedback. Instead of seeing obstacles as punishments or signs of inadequacy, view them as stepping stones that guide you toward greater self-awareness and improvement. This shift in perspective not only helps you stay on course, but also reduces the emotional weight of the challenge, making it easier to keep moving forward. Turning setbacks into opportunities for growth requires flexibility. Rigid thinking can lock you into a single approach, but being open to alternative solutions allows you to find new paths when the old ones no longer work. This adaptability is what transforms challenges from threats into opportunities. Sometimes, an unexpected detour reveals an even better route to your destination. When you remain open to the unknown, You increase your ability to find solutions and grow beyond your current limitations. It is important to recognize that progress does not always follow a linear path. Success is rarely a straight line, and often it takes several detours, missteps, and corrections before reaching a destination. This is where the true work of mastery lies, not in avoiding mistakes, but in learning from them. The ability to take a misstep, adjust your course, and continue forward without losing your sense of direction is a mark of mastery. Handling challenges also requires patience and self-compassion. It is easy to be critical of oneself when things don't go as planned, but negative self-talk only adds to the burden of difficulty. Treat yourself with the same understanding you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Acknowledge the challenge, but don't let it define your worth. Your value isn't measured by the setbacks you face, but by how you choose to face them. As you grow in your ability to handle setbacks, you also expand your capacity to inspire others. Those who master challenges often become beacons of hope and strength for those around them. When you persist in the face of adversity, you set an example that others can draw strength from. Your journey becomes not only about personal achievement, but about showing others that success is possible even in the most difficult circumstances. Ultimately, the ability to master challenges is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who give up too soon. Every challenge is an opportunity in disguise, a moment for growth, learning, and refining your purpose. When you learn to embrace challenges as integral parts of the journey, you empower yourself to not only overcome them, but to thrive because of them. The strength gained through navigating difficulty becomes the foundation upon which all future success is built. Chapter 8. The Influence of Relationships. Our relationships are not mere connections. They are powerful forces that shape who we are and what we become. The people we surround ourselves with influence our habits, our mindset, and ultimately, our success. Positive relationships act as mirrors, reflecting not only who we are, but who we can become. They are the silent architects of our growth, providing the support, encouragement, and sometimes the tough love needed to propel us toward our aspirations. From the moment we begin forming habits, we start to create a social environment that either fosters or hinders our progress. When we are surrounded by individuals who share our values and ambitions, the journey toward change becomes easier. Support networks provide not just encouragement, but accountability. They offer a space where we can celebrate wins and process setbacks, and they remind us of our potential when our own belief falters. The influence of relationships is particularly strong when it comes to habit formation. Studies show that we tend to mirror the behaviors, attitudes, and even the mindset of those closest to us. If we are surrounded by individuals who value health, for example, we are more likely to adopt similar habits, whether it's cooking nutritious meals, exercising regularly, or prioritizing mental well-being. Positive connections create a ripple effect that reinforces the habits we are working to build. Encouragement within a support network provides more than just emotional reinforcement. It builds confidence. It transforms a solitary endeavor into a shared mission. When you see others achieving, struggling, and growing alongside you, it instills a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose. The realization that others are rooting for your success or even experiencing similar challenges makes the journey feel less isolating. It is easier to push through difficult moments when you know you are not alone. Relationships also hold the power to create a culture of accountability. The people we trust have the ability to remind us of our commitments and hold us to our goals. This kind of accountability is different from external pressure. It stems from mutual respect and shared goals. When we know that someone else is aware of our goals, we are more likely to follow through, not out of obligation, but out of respect for the relationship and the trust that's been established. At times, relationships serve as a safe space to test new habits and ideas. A supportive friend or mentor provides the feedback necessary for refinement and improvement. This exchange isn't just about encouragement. It's about growth through constructive criticism, sharing insights, and gaining new perspectives. The value of relationships in shaping habits is not just in their support, but in their ability to challenge us to reach higher, push further, and refine our approach. The people we surround ourselves with also play a role in shaping the direction of our lives. If we are consistently in the company of individuals who have a growth mindset, who are ambitious and focused on self-improvement, we are more likely to adopt similar values. These values become ingrained, creating a feedback loop that reinforces our own desire for growth and progress. Alternatively, being around individuals who are stagnant or dismissive of change can dampen our motivation and reduce the energy we need to pursue our goals. Relationships, however, are not just about receiving support. They are about giving it as well. Being a source of encouragement and inspiration for others enhances our own commitment to our goals. When we help someone else stay accountable, we reinforce our own dedication. The act of supporting another person is often the catalyst for deeper self-reflection and growth. In lifting others, we also rise. The nature of the relationships we form depends largely on the quality of the connections we seek. Building relationships with people who align with our values, who encourage growth, and who are genuinely interested in our success transforms our environment into one that nurtures our potential. These relationships become the soil in which our aspirations take root and flourish. At times, it is necessary to distance ourselves from relationships that do not support our goals. This does not mean cutting people out entirely, but recognizing when certain connections are not conducive to our well-being or progress. Cultivating relationships that nurture our growth and create an environment of positive influence allows us to remain focused and committed to the path we have chosen. Positive connections are not merely supportive, they are transformative, shifting our mindset, amplifying our efforts, and helping us achieve more than we could alone. Chapter 9. Sustaining Energy and Motivation. Achieving long-term success is not a sprint. It is a marathon that requires consistent energy and sustained motivation. The journey to greatness is not defined by short bursts of intense effort, but by the ability to keep going day after day, overcoming obstacles, and adapting along the way. This requires a balance, knowing when to push forward and when to step back for renewal. The ability to sustain energy and motivation hinges on this delicate equilibrium between discipline and rest. It's easy to assume that the key to achieving success is simply working harder, putting in more hours, and pushing past fatigue. But the truth is, relentless effort without consideration for recovery only leads to burnout. Our energy is finite, and it must be replenished. Motivation, too, is not a constant force. It fluctuates, and we must learn to navigate these ebbs and flows. There will be days when the drive is strong, and other days when it feels distant. The secret to maintaining momentum lies in understanding the rhythms of both energy and motivation, knowing when to exert effort and when to rest. Discipline is essential for maintaining progress. Without it, even the best of intentions can fizzle out. Discipline ensures that we show up, even on the days when motivation is lacking. But discipline alone cannot sustain us indefinitely. It is the fuel for consistent effort, but it is the balance with rest that allows that effort to be sustained over time. If you don't allow yourself time to recover, the well of energy will run dry, and the discipline that once propelled you forward becomes a hollow routine. Rest is often undervalued in the pursuit of success, yet it is just as critical as the work itself. Recovery is not an optional luxury. It is a necessary component of long-term performance. Rest gives us the space to recharge, to regain perspective, and to avoid the trap of working just for the sake of working. It's through periods of rest that our bodies and minds regenerate, processing what we've learned and finding new ways to approach challenges. Without rest, even the most committed and driven individuals can lose their creative spark and the clarity needed to navigate the next phase of their journey. The role of renewal goes beyond mere physical recovery. It extends to mental and emotional rejuvenation. In a world that often demands constant hustle, it can feel almost counterproductive to take a step back. But real growth happens in the quiet moments when we give ourselves permission to pause. It is in these moments that we gather the insight needed to move forward, whether it's through reflection, spending time in nature, or engaging in activities that bring joy and relaxation. Renewal is the process that restores not only our energy, but our enthusiasm for the work ahead. Understanding the rhythm of effort and rest is also crucial for maintaining motivation. Motivation, while essential in the early stages of a new venture, tends to wane over time. It ebbs and flows like the tide. On days when motivation is high, it's easy to feel invincible, to charge ahead and push the limits of our capabilities. But on days when motivation dips, it can feel like we're moving through molasses, unsure if we have the willpower to continue. This is where discipline becomes a lifeline. Discipline allows us to keep moving forward even when motivation is low, ensuring that we don't lose sight of the bigger picture. It's important to understand that motivation is not something we can summon at will. It is an energy that comes and goes. Recognizing this truth helps us avoid self-judgment during moments of low motivation. The key is to keep the momentum going, even if it's at a slower pace, trusting that the drive will return when it's ready. The balance of knowing when to push and when to rest helps create a sustainable pace, one that allows us to persevere through difficult times without burning out. Renewal, though, is not simply about taking breaks when things get tough. It's about intentionally creating space for growth. The concept of renewal is not passive. It requires action. Engaging in activities that restore us, whether through creative expression, physical movement, or time spent with loved ones, fuels our passion and focus. These moments of restoration are what allow us to keep going, bringing a sense of joy and purpose back to our work. They remind us that success is not just about the destination, but about enjoying the journey itself. The beauty of balancing discipline with rest lies in its ability to create sustainable success. When you understand the importance of both work and recovery, you ensure that your energy remains steady and your motivation strong. Success is not a matter of pushing through exhaustion, but of knowing when to engage fully and when to step back and allow yourself the time to recharge. It is in this delicate balance that true long-term success is achieved, as we remain energized, motivated, and ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Chapter 10. Celebrating Progress. In the pursuit of long-term success, it's easy to get caught up in the relentless drive to achieve bigger and better things. The next goal, the next milestone, the next step forward. These often consume our attention, leaving little room for reflection on how far we've come. But without acknowledging progress, even the most remarkable achievements can feel hollow. The act of celebrating progress, no matter how small, is essential for fueling further growth and reinforcing the commitment to our journey. We tend to focus on what's missing, the goals yet to be achieved, and the potential we have not yet realized. In doing so, we overlook the smaller victories that are the building blocks of long-term success. These moments, often fleeting and seemingly insignificant, are the true markers of progress. Celebrating them creates a feedback loop, reminding us that we are moving forward, even when the destination still seems far away. The celebration of progress isn't just about external recognition or throwing a party after achieving something significant. It's about taking the time to internally acknowledge that you have moved one step closer to your goal. It's the quiet moment of self-recognition that reinforces the value of your efforts. Celebrating progress builds a sense of pride and accomplishment, creating positive reinforcement that strengthens your resolve to keep pushing forward. When we celebrate progress, we honor our commitment to growth. Too often we brush past our achievements, thinking they are not worthy of attention. This attitude can lead to burnout, as we fail to see the fruits of our labor. By pausing to celebrate, we give ourselves the opportunity to appreciate the effort we've put in and the results we've achieved. This recognition becomes a powerful motivator to continue taking action, as it fosters a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Building confidence is one of the greatest benefits of celebrating progress. Confidence doesn't emerge overnight. It is cultivated over time through consistent acknowledgement of our capabilities and achievements. When we reflect on what we have accomplished, we reinforce the belief that we are capable of achieving even more. Confidence isn't a static trait. It's a dynamic process that evolves as we recognize the growth we've made. By celebrating the small wins along the way, we nurture the belief in ourselves that propels us to take on even greater challenges. Gratitude plays a pivotal role in the process of celebrating progress. It shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, from what we lack to what we've gained. In recognizing and appreciating the steps we've taken, we shift our mindset to one of abundance, acknowledging that we have the tools, resources, and determination to continue moving forward. Gratitude fosters an emotional connection to our journey, making the pursuit of success feel more rewarding. It reminds us that success isn't solely about the destination, but about the growth and transformation that occur along the way. When we practice gratitude, we also foster resilience. It becomes easier to face challenges when we've created a habit of recognizing the positive aspects of our journey. Even when setbacks occur, the ability to see progress, however small, keeps us grounded and focused. The act of being grateful for what has been accomplished strengthens our mental and emotional resilience, making it easier to stay committed when faced with obstacles. Moreover, celebrating progress helps build momentum. Each small win, each milestone, no matter how minor it may seem, adds fuel to the fire of motivation. This accumulation of positive moments creates a wave of energy that propels us forward, making it easier to tackle the next challenge. When we actively celebrate, we create a positive emotional connection to the process of working toward our goals, making the journey itself more enjoyable and fulfilling. Acknowledging wins, big or small, also shapes the narrative we tell ourselves about our capabilities. Every time we celebrate, we reaffirm that we are capable of achieving what we set out to do. This narrative becomes ingrained in our subconscious, influencing our behavior and decisions. We begin to see ourselves as individuals who are successful, who are worthy of achieving great things, which creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Our belief in our ability to succeed increases, which in turn influences our actions and propels us toward even greater achievements. Ultimately, the act of celebrating progress is not just about recognizing accomplishments. It's about honoring the process of growth itself. It's about acknowledging that the journey toward success is just as valuable as the destination. Celebrating progress allows us to enjoy the ride, to appreciate the effort, and to stay connected to the reason we began the journey in the first place. By building a habit of celebration, we make the pursuit of success a rewarding experience, one that continues to fuel our motivation and inspire our confidence, ensuring that we stay committed to our goals for the long haul. Chapter 11. Expanding beyond yourself. The most powerful transformations often begin with the smallest actions. Over time, these tiny habits ripple outward, influencing not only our own lives but also the lives of those around us. As we cultivate behaviors that align with our values and vision, we inadvertently set an example for others, becoming living testaments to the power of consistency. The quiet yet profound impact we have on those around us is a reflection of the influence of our daily choices, the tiny habits we practice with intention. When we embrace the potential of tiny habits, we start to see that our actions don't exist in isolation. Every moment of self-discipline, every effort toward progress, creates a shift that others may notice, whether in the workplace, at home, or in our social circles. People are constantly observing, not just what we say, but what we do. Our daily rituals, no matter how seemingly insignificant, hold the potential to inspire others. As we model behavior that embodies persistence, patience, and dedication, we unknowingly plant the seeds for change in others, encouraging them to take small steps of their own. The impact of these tiny habits is magnified over time. What may begin as a simple commitment to personal growth soon transforms into a force that influences the environment around us. By staying true to our values and goals, We demonstrate the power of perseverance in a world that often values instant results. We become beacons of possibility, showing others that meaningful progress doesn't require drastic shifts, but rather the cumulative effect of daily actions. Our dedication becomes a blueprint that others can follow, sparking their own commitment to positive change. As we focus on growth within ourselves, we also develop the ability to encourage and uplift others. This is not about lecturing or preaching, but rather about living in a way that inspires through example. When we succeed in cultivating habits that contribute to our own well-being and success, we unknowingly create space for others to do the same. Our success becomes a shared experience, a collective journey toward growth and fulfillment. It's in these moments that we begin to understand how our individual progress can intertwine with the aspirations of others, creating a broader ripple effect that extends beyond our own lives. Creating a legacy is not about grand gestures or monumental achievements. It is about the consistent actions we take over time. Every small, intentional step we make leaves behind a trail that others can follow, a legacy built not on accolades, but on the simple, everyday choices we make. This legacy is rooted in the way we show up for ourselves and others, in how we commit to our personal growth and use that growth to lift those around us. Through our tiny habits, we pass on something far more meaningful than material success. We pass on the knowledge that transformation is possible, that it is the steady accumulation of small steps that ultimately leads to lasting change. In cultivating habits that align with our highest values, we don't just work toward personal success, we also contribute to the success of others. By choosing actions that reflect our deeper purpose, we provide a model for others to follow. The most enduring legacies are those that influence not just the individual, but the wider community. They are built on the foundation of everyday actions that have the power to inspire and empower others to create positive change in their own lives. The actions we take today, no matter how small, can set in motion a chain of events that will leave an indelible mark on the world long after we're gone. This influence goes beyond just inspiring others to take action. It creates a ripple effect that changes the dynamics of our environment. When we commit to small, consistent actions, we transform the spaces we inhabit, whether it's a family, a workplace, or a community. These shifts often happen gradually, but over time they accumulate to create a profound impact. Our commitment to growth and progress becomes the catalyst for change within our spheres of influence. As we continue to evolve, we naturally encourage others to evolve alongside us, creating a culture of growth, support, and mutual encouragement. The notion of legacy is often reserved for the few who achieve extraordinary feats. Yet in truth, our legacy is shaped by the everyday choices we make, the subtle influences we have on those around us, and the example we set through our actions. Every small habit, every quiet moment of determination contributes to this legacy. It's not about waiting for a grand moment of recognition. It's about living with intention and consistency, knowing that every step forward shapes not only our future, but the future of those who come after us. The true power of tiny habits lies not just in their ability to change our own lives, but in their capacity to inspire others to embark on their own journeys of growth and transformation. Conclusion. The path to success is not always paved with grand, sweeping changes. Instead, it is often the quiet, consistent steps we take each day that create the most profound impact. Small habits, when practiced with intention and dedication, have the power to transform not just our lives, but the lives of those around us. Through these incremental shifts, we cultivate a sense of purpose, build lasting momentum, and create a foundation for sustained growth. As you reflect on the journey you have undertaken throughout this book, remember that the process of change begins with a single step, one tiny habit. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the idea of massive transformation, but real success is rarely the result of one monumental decision. Instead, it is the sum of the small, everyday actions that accumulate over time, leading to lasting impact. In each small victory, there is growth. In every tiny habit, there is the potential for greatness. This journey is yours to own. The small habits you choose to cultivate today will shape the person you become tomorrow. Whether you're striving to improve yourself, inspire others, or create a legacy, the power lies in your ability to consistently show up, take action, and embrace the process. With patience and persistence, you will see that even the smallest steps, when compounded over time, can lead to extraordinary results. The change you seek doesn't require dramatic shifts or sudden breakthroughs. It requires a commitment to daily actions, the courage to start small, and the faith that each step forward, no matter how tiny, is a step in the right direction. As you continue on this path, remember that success is not a distant destination. It's a journey made of countless small wins, each one bringing you closer to the person you are meant to be. Now, with the knowledge and tools you've gained, it's time to take your first step, then another, and then another. The power to create lasting change is already within you. All that remains is to embrace it, one tiny habit at a time.